Whoa. It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. You can see that's the fire going on up there. That's the trout, smoke from the trout fire up in the Dome Land wilderness. It's been burning for 10, 11 days now. Pretty crazy operation. The base camp for it's right over the ridge behind our house. You can walk there. Pretty wild operation they got going for all the fire crews and the hot shots. I think there's like 600 or 700 of them stationed over there. And then we got the helicopter base. It's just over there, about a mile and a half. Pretty wild scene. Super bummer that the Dome Land's burned down. I guess it hadn't burned up there since 1949. It's a big fire over here this morning, but it looks like they got it, or this afternoon, it looks like they knocked it down pretty quick. It was like 9 acres. This one over here is like, I think it's up to like 30,000 acres burned. Last I saw it was like 7% containment. It's hot, man. Today was one of those days it was like hot. Like hot. But you know, Death Valley's probably 80 miles bird flight to the east or northeast a little bit. East, northeast. And yeah, man, where I'm chiming in, I was I don't know what I was. I don't know what I am. It's funny, the vibe changes. There's like it gets kind of unbearable around 1 o'clock. You know it's coming at about 9:30. And then you got to get out and get some stuff done starting around like 5. And at 5, it's still that like cranky heat where you're like, And then right now it's like the magic hour, but I did all my chores. I did my garden stuff, and we had a bunch of other chores to do. I had to get these last 2 pieces of tile in, and then all my tiling's done. And then I just got to do base and case in a little room, and then I'm done. I can show y'all what I've been working on a year later. But I guess that's sort of the thing, man, incrementalism. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's sort of the point, right? Is that the I was just about to say, like, it's all pretty blank slate, but it's pretty overwhelming at the same time. Like, all of it. I mean, the real plus side is Owl is thriving. Like, we're what, 2.5 years into this up here, and Owl has got some friends. He's killing it on the drums. He's doing great homeschooling. His attitude's good. He's 9. He's taken on responsibilities pretty well. He's growing up, which is super rad. So like that box is fully like excelling. you know, and then it's funny, like when that one gets going, I you know, my dad's health isn't great. He's got some gnarly like cancer. I think it's spread, you know, and my mom's health's not that great. They're in their 80s, or like 80. I think 80. What is it? What year is it? What year is it? Yeah, it sounds about right. Maybe they're 79. But yeah, like that's a real, like in the back of your mind, in the front of your mind kind of thing is the actual terminal velocity of it all. And then I've been, it's weird, like you become very aware that it's all super temporary, like in a real way. Like you can get all philosophical about the temporary nature of time and space and all of that. And then the mountains don't care, even though they're burning back there. Like they're not worried about it. Give them another 500 years, dude, and it'll be like pristine old growth. But this was a lightning strike fire, which is interesting. I don't know. I was thinking about the you know, tying in all those subject matter, like the corner of the forest where it's burning up there was pretty spectacular, like old growth. I'd been up there once backpacking, like way off trail, exploring. And I guess it won't be like that again in my lifetime. It's a weird, trippy thought, dude. It won't even be like pristine again. I mean, it's doing its thing. I mean, it's cycling. It'd be like owls' children might get to backpack up there and get a glimpse of what I saw, right? It's all so weird, man. It's all so weird. I don't know. So about like the time thing, I was thinking about, as aware of I am as like every moment is precious right now. It's been super hard to activate on that. It's been super hard to get into the get over the hump, if you will. I don't know if I wouldn't say I have a positive mental attitude, but I wouldn't say I have an unpositive mental attitude either. I sort of have that weird stasis mental attitude. I think I'm just sort of, I've been in like a new rhythm, right? I've been in a new rhythm, but I'm also, I can tell I'm reserving some energy for like the next phase of this whole thing, this life hustle, dude. It's weird, man. You see, as much as things change, they stay the same, and as much as they stay the same, they just change at the same time. And you kind of look around, and I mean, it's going. I've been trying to think about like what I want out of it. And I don't mean like in that selfish kind of what I want out of it. Like, I mean, I made the other video about like the blank canvas. It's like, what's next? It's sort of a weird doldrum up here in the sense of it's just hot. There's a level of non-functionality of it like where you're you can't really jump in. You can jump in, and then you just the heat really gets to you, and you gotta kind of like alter course a little bit. I mean, I don't know how those dudes are up there fighting the fire, man, in this heat, dude. It must be drinking a lot of water. I don't know, man. Is this one of those like rambling, pointless videos? Kind of. I think I'm just sitting here trying to like soak it all in. It's a weird, I'm looking at me looking at that. So I got that world over there I'm looking at, but I'm also looking at the screen there. It's like the forward, reverse, retro, reverse. What a trippy journey we've been on the last like 4 or 5 years, right? I sometimes I think back, like, I don't want to say it was any simpler like prior to 2020. But I do think something got broken. Something got broken, and I don't mean like something in the like perception machine got broken. You know, I was talking with Owl the other day about, because you know when the 2020 event occurred, like that, he was like 5, going to preschool. Like his only experience in like any sort of school was like weird. And we were going to a hip preschool where they didn't require any like the kids to participate in any of it, right? We got real lucky on that. The teacher and the administrator wasn't buying into the hustle either. They were super kid scienced out, knew it was bad for the kids to. But you know, like the whole thing was everywhere. So we were talking about like that period, because like he was just starting to make friends. You know what I mean? Like when you're 5, you're kind of like, and that was that whole period where you couldn't get together with any of the friends you made. Like he has his buddies. Like there's like the little group of like childhood like tribe, if you will, like tribe members. Like they'll always be like part of their like tribe. But I mean like friends, when you're bringing in new people and you're interacting, like there was like that whole window down there was like, it just was broken. Like you couldn't go to the park and meet other children, and like, you know, it was just real weird. Definitely weren't having any play dates. And I mean, not like I said, we had our little tribe, but like that's different. It's just a weird different thing. So we were up here, and then, you know, we moved at the end of the thing, and it's just interesting to watch like him get into his like groove with some friends. He's got his little group of friends, and I watched, you know, when it shifted, it was when he pitched his first baseball game. Like that's when I saw it all shift. It was like the kids on his baseball team, because some of the kids on his baseball team went to church or in his Sunday school, and something happened right there where he went and pitched, he owned his own space, and he got to be like in his own world with it. And they got to see him in his own, commanding his own world. Because, you know, up until that point, like it's just been like us, right? You know, you go through that 2020 thing and the coup and a couple years of that nonsense, and then you come up here and you're the new people and you don't really know any, and then you kind of get into the groove of that. But it takes a bit, man. Like, you know, we've been up here long enough now where he's got his friends, which is nice. But you can really see how that, if like, even though we kept him fully like not part of the chaos of that whole period, you can really see how peripherally it affected his like childhood in a very subtle way. But it's there. I mean, fortunately, he was young enough where I don't think he'll ever really truly remember it as like, and we didn't do anything to make him remember it. Like, he wasn't wearing like a mask or something ridiculous, dude. We didn't give him any sauces or anything like that. But you really do see that, like, through his own, I can look at his own experience and see that something got broken. And I think it got broken for all of us as adults too. Like you'll never ever truly be able, like if you saw through the hustle, you'll never truly ever be able to trust the system again, ever, on any level. And if you didn't see through it, all you ever will do is kowtow to the system. Like there's just two different schools of thought. Is those who saw through it and will never ever buy in again, and those who didn't see through it, who will never be really free of it again. And it's weird because a lot of people, you can see them now, like they're just setting themselves up for the next whatever. And it's gonna be subtle. I mean, it really hasn't stopped. If I sit back and look at it, I mean, I've gotten out of it enough to like just be here. But the hustle hasn't stopped since, for what year is it? 24? Solid 4 years. It's been a solid four years of non-stop nonsense. I was watching this dude that John Williams guy makes those videos. He went back to Santa Monica and was down on 3rd Street Promenade and everything's like closed. REI's closed. Everything's closed. I remember being there after the riots when it was all smashed and burned up and destroyed. And it's weird. Like I don't think it's weird. There's like a time before and now a time now, and there's no going back. I sometimes, you like, I think that's where I'm just sort of like sitting in this weird doldrums. Like, I saw this meme that said 20 years from now, you'll wish you were as healthy and fit and young as you are today. And I think about that sometimes, and I see that forest burning up there and all that. I just try to absorb this moment, right? Completely and totally in the now. And there's almost a weird, like, I don't want to say melancholy, because that's not the emotion I'm trying to like get from it, but just sort of, and I don't want to say foreboding either. Something between foreboding and melancholy, or maybe on the other side of each one of those. I'm not really sure. But I just feel like a weird clock spinning, and it's not a biological clock, and it's not the sky clock. It's like this people clock, this culture clock, this hustle clock. And I'm trying to be still enough to see it, and yet it makes me want to like feel like I gotta move in it, you know what I mean? But I got out of it, so I don't like. I think that's the hardest thing, is just to sit here and just be okay with it. Whatever's coming, something gnarly's coming, right? I think so. I think something gnarly's coming, and I don't know if I don't think it's like a monster. I think it's like one of those M. Night Shyamalan movies, like the early good ones, dude, where like it just there's a plot twist, but we already know what the plot twist is. We just don't believe that that's the plot twist. You know what I mean? Like, it's all hyped up to be something that it isn't because we already know what it's gonna be. And that's the weird hustle of it, if you will. And so I think that's where I'm trying to dig into my data banks. I bet I made a video about this like a decade ago. Exactly what's coming down the pipes. But I'm not even future tripping, and I'm not even dwelling in the past, but it's trying to pick up on the rhythm. There is a rhythm to all of this. There is a cycle and a symphony, and like I see my son is getting healthier and better as my parents are fading. And you're right, and I'm right in the middle of it, closer to the fade than anything, right? Time. I don't know what it is, dude. 21 and a half minutes later, dude, I don't know. But I can tell you there's links down below. There's an email down below. Maybe give me some off the beaten wall topics. I mean, I think about those golden eras of when my whole mission was to figure out what the stone structures around the planet were for. That was before I got into any of that John Levy, dude. I used to be before all the reset and Tartaria and all the flat earth and stuff. I was making videos about the stone structures around the planets 12, 13 years ago, right? I remember making that one. It was right around the time I made the Golden Gate Time Traveler Assassins video, dude. Well, it sure is nice out right now. I got this accomplished. Now I just got to go upload it. Just got to go upload it. Anyway, it's the Illusion signing up. You can join memberships on this channel now. I got that going on to help out the channel. And there's the other links, but you know how it is. Just use the name tags, dude. Be kind to yourself. And all the fire guys are coming back from their shift right now. That's what all those trucks are. They're all coming off the mountain. It's about that time. All right, it's the Illusion signing off.